Let's begin. Tonight, we're going to go over a few introductions. We're also going to be talking about important deadlines. We're going to be exploring pathways after high school, and we're going to have a live Q&A for you with our school counselors, some of us, at the end of tonight's presentation. So go ahead right now and get yourself ready to write down any questions that you may have so that you are ready after this recording. We'd like to start with a quote. This quote is from Malcolm X, and it says, "Education is our passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to the people who prepare for it today." And this is a value that we like to instill in all of our seniors, because the harder we work now, the more opportunities open up later in life. We've been working with your seniors over the past month in their English classes through some large group presentations where we explore things like the deadlines that we'll go over tonight. We've also done some mindfulness activities to help them with their social emotional learning. And we've met with them one-on-one through their English classes to talk about their particular journeys. Also, just a quick little introduction in case you did not make it to back to school night, we wanted to reintroduce you to our administrators. Take a moment now and find your administrator. The administrators are assigned by last name to you. So if you have A through E, your administrator is Mrs. Usher. If you're F through M, your administrator is Mr. Johnson. If you're N through R, your administrator is Miss Vega. If you're S through Z, your administrator is Mr. Ross. Miss Joe Hungry is our ASB director. Mr. Gunn is our athletic director. And of course, Dr. Burrill is our principal. So you might wonder, what is it that the school counselor does? And there's no video that explores it better than this one. So let's take a few moments and watch this now.
We have to do better by our students. They want more. They want to be better. And so as a school counselor, I have an opportunity every single day to engage with our students and to truly connect with them as a human being and ask them, what do you need? And how can I help you get to your goal?
I really just started having panic attacks every single day, and I was terrified of getting sick.
I would struggle from time to time. Like I could study a lot, and when I went to take a test, I'd blow it almost every time.
This has been by far my most challenging year. I've started going towards the counseling department in my own ways, just sort of professionally and personally.
You know, my daughter has challenges academically, and because of her mutism, she doesn't speak to the teacher or other kids, and it's very, very scary for her.
8th grade in middle school, my cousin got shot on my street and unfortunately passed away.
He told us that my aunt and my cousin made it out, but the rest of my family didn't.
School counselors do so much more than school counseling. So school counselors' role in the social emotional learning is to build skills to help address mental health concerns.
That exact week, my counselor wouldn't let me go to any of my classes, and she would just stay there and hold me and watch me while I cry, pass me tissues.
My school counselor, she met with me and we kind of started talking about like I was feeling all these different things, and she was able to get me into the school's grief counseling. My counselors kind of became my only outlet for talking about it.
But because she has worked with her counselor one-on-one, she's built that relationship, and she's built that trust, and she can speak to her comfortably.
We want to help you first, students, because we know that you are going to make a difference. We know that you are going to be the ones who take over our jobs and make the difference for the next set of generations.
I didn't have to worry about, going into the dark place where if I was with them and being involved with them, I felt safe.
And I knew I was accepted, and I knew that I could go to them at any time and I would be, listened to. And I think that I just felt safer in those spaces.
When I'm with my counselors, it's just like a familiar feeling. They care about me. They care about where I'm gonna go.
She would take the time and would look and would tell me, you know, let's start talking colleges. I think you're ready.
Which makes me feel very happy when I see her speaking to someone else other than her family.
They've been incredible because they have supported the social emotional needs. Having one-on-one sessions with students, they're doing Zoom sessions, they're calling them by phone.
And so we invite you to ask for help from school counselors. We will do whatever we can to assist, but we will be here to help more than anything with your child, because your child is our child. Nosotros como consejeros escolares estamos aquí para servirles a ustedes, pero queremos aquí estar para ustedes, para ayudarles en cualquier cosa que necesiten. If you need help with food, we got you. If you need help with your child's education, we will help you. If you need help with your child's future plans, we are here to assist.
Where I was in high school to getting, even to CSUN, probably one of the greatest successes of my life.
You're gonna see me with my master's on my wall. I'm getting to where I wanna be.
And for us, that's what this year is all about. Finding pathways for our students and healing hearts, because we know that with the last year and a half, school has never looked like it has before. And as we get back, we want to instill in all of our seniors that possibilities are endless and there are multiple avenues to reach each and every one of their dreams. So who are your school counselors and who's your school counseling team? On this slide, and you have access to it in the PDF, if you've clicked on the link, you will find all of your school counselors and school counseling support staff. And with this Bitmoji room, which is also on our website, you can click on us and it will bring up our email addresses for you. So who exactly is responsible for each letter? Well, let's go through that now. So Mrs. Grover has A through CAR. If your last name begins with A through CAR, she's your counselor. I have the students that have the last name CAS through GAR. Mrs. Finney has the students with GAS through KOR for their last names. Mrs. Goddard is KOS through MUR. Miss Creedon is MUS through ROC. Miss Thompson is ROD through TOR and the Umoja program. Dr. Gomez is TOS through Z and the Puente program. Miss Orozco is our emerging multilingual students. And Miss Grotham is our intervention counselor. So that is your school counseling team. Now, before we continue, we want to go ahead and go over graduation requirements. In the mail, you will be receiving a letter as we have gone over these with each and every one of our seniors. That letter contains the graduation requirements for Corona Norco and also contains the classes that are left in order to graduate. With that said, just a real quick overview. I'm going to give you a moment now to review what those graduation requirements look like while I talk about A through G requirements. So you see that there is a slight difference. For those unfamiliar, A through G requirements are our college requirements. It's what we strive for in order to meet the needs for the University of California system and the California State University system. What we find is by meeting the needs of both the UC and the CSUs, we are able to then meet the needs of all four-year universities. So take a moment now and review those. And if you have any questions, don't forget to write those down at this time and make sure to ask those questions to us at the end. Let's continue. So how are we making up credits? We know that this year we have a number of our seniors who are looking to make up some credits. Well, what we've done is we've enrolled some of them in our school recovery program. So it is a period in their day as they go through their day each and every day. Some students are doing a 7th period credit recovery course. So we have met with those seniors to make sure that they know that they are enrolled in a 7th period, which takes place immediately after our 6th period. We also have District Odyssey Wear. So it is a recovery program through the district where the district has provided curriculum with an online format so that students can work on it at home. We also have an adult school option, which we have available to us quarterly. There are also the AB 104 options, and you might be hearing about AB 104, which is an assembly bill that has been signed into law by the governor for the class of 2022 specifically to allow us a few more options. For many of our underclassmen, some of them have taken advantage of retention, which means they are repeating last year's grade this year in order to make sure that they are on top of their studies. We also have a short window that has been provided to change grades A through D. Now, we wouldn't necessarily change an A, B, or C, but D's definitely to a pass. And an F grade could go to a no pass. Now, this can only be done with your approval by submitting a form within a particular time window. At the time of this recording, we are awaiting to see if the time window will reopen for a small amount of time. But we highly encourage you to go to the district website by clicking on that link to learn more about how the grade changes work. Again, if a student has a D or an F, we strongly encourage that those get changed into a pass or a no pass. We also have alternate graduation requirements that are available with petition for the class of 2022. And if we needed your senior to take advantage of that, we went ahead and talked to your senior about it. Hopefully have talked to you about it, but either which way, it is included in the letter that is coming home if we are looking for that petition. Now, let's go ahead and get into the different pathways and talk about what life can be like after high school. We know that our seniors have many options, and some of those options are a four-year university, the community college route, a trade school or a career tech school, the military, or the workforce. And we're going to start by talking about the California College Guidance Initiative, or better known, if you're looking on the web, as californiacolleges.edu. Included in this is a short video that we will watch together now.
Over the next few minutes, I'm going to take you on a very brief tour of some of the planning tools on californiacolleges.edu, logged in as a high school student. Let's get started. To sign in, students go to the padlock in the top right corner. Once signed in, students will see a home page customized for their grade level. Embedded in the platform is a comprehensive 6th to 12th grade college and career planning curriculum. When students sign in, they will see blue bubbles that correspond with the lessons for their current grade level. Students can easily access instructions from their accounts, and educators are provided with corresponding lesson plans. To get around californiacolleges.edu, use the navigation bar. It is broken up in 4 sections: My Plan, College, Career, and Financial Aid. My Plan is the student's digital portfolio where they store their favorited colleges, careers, applications, goals, and more. Students can upload important documents like their resumes, college essays, and student worksheets. My Plan is also where they access the Advanced Academic Planner and the CSU UC eligibility tools. When clicking on the College tab, students can use the College Search tool to explore colleges both in California and across the nation. However, for-profit schools are excluded. There's also a major search tool and links to the different college applications such as CCC Apply and Cal State Apply. In the Career section, high school students have access to 3 different assessments where they begin to learn about themselves and identify careers that match their interests. Students can take the Do What You Are and Multiple Intelligence assessments a maximum of 3 times, but the Interest Profiler can be taken as many times as they'd like. Middle school students have 2 assessments in their accounts, the Interest Profiler and Learning Styles. Once the assessments are complete, students can heart or favorite those careers which will be saved in their My Plan. Every career has a fact sheet for students to explore. By clicking on a career, students will learn about the education required, salary information, related majors, colleges offering those programs, and even related careers. Financial aid is where students will find information and links to the FAFSA, DREAM Act, CSS Profile, Cal Grant, Chafee Grant, and more. These are some of the general college and career planning features available to your student. But I do want to point out, as an educator, you have access to their completed college and career activities, favorited colleges, majors, and careers via the Educator dashboard. Thanks for joining me on this quick tour of californiacolleges.edu.
Now, californiacolleges.edu is super important for our seniors to use this year because it links their account to their school counselor. We can go in on the back end and make sure that we are able to track completion for things like college applications and their completion, or their at least attempt to start their financial aid applications as well. We can also track their progress for A through G coursework, and the benefit of doing it through that system is for the UC, the Cal State, and the community college application systems, they can actually import their transcript so that they can ensure accuracy into the applications as long as they access those applications by going through the californiacolleges.edu portal. So logging in there, they will then be linked when they click on the appropriate application to the application itself, but the portal, the californiacolleges.edu portal, will be running on the back end to help us help them along the way. And California Colleges is a completely free website online tool for them and for you to help with that post-secondary planning, because we are a partner district with them. Let's keep going. So what are some of the four-year pathways? Well, we have the California State University system, the University of California. We have historically Black colleges and universities. There are a number of out-of-state state universities as well that mirror both the Cal State system and the University of California system, and a number of private universities. Important dates we're going to go over soon, but we'll introduce to you right now are the California State University application and the UC application are due November 30th. They do not take late applications. So in the month of November, we want to make sure that we are in full support of getting those applications done. On the very first Wednesday of November, and we'll talk about this a little bit later, we're going to have I Applied Night. And I Applied Night is a family night for all of you to join us virtually so that we make sure that we are there to help with both the college applications and the financial aid applications. Now, again, we would like you to access the California State University and University of California applications by going through the californiacolleges.edu website. If you are applying to a number of the private schools, they're going to use the Common App or another private school application that is out there for their systems. What we find with the private schools is that they have rolling deadlines. Some of them have an early decision deadline of November 1st, so that students are then able to be notified a lot sooner if they are admitted to that university. However, always be careful with applying for that, because some of those early decisions are binding, which means that your student would then have to attend that university. There is also a regular decision deadline, and this operates very much like the Cal State and UC deadline of January 1st. And then they would let them know during the regular decision period when, if they are admitted or not. So again, deadlines are very important for college. Once a deadline passes, there is no going back and submitting after that point. So let's dive in a little bit more, and you've got some hyperlinks here for you. The UC is a system that tends to take students with higher GPAs and tends to be a little more research focused. For their application, they have personal insight questions. And by clicking on personal insight questions here in this presentation, you'll be taken to a website that will give you all of the information you need to know about those personal insight questions. Remind your seniors, this is not a narrative essay. We do not need an introduction. We do not need a conclusion. What we need is for them to answer the question succinctly and effectively, because this is their opportunity to really give some insight into who they are as a student and as a member of the community. To apply to the UC system, you need a minimum weighted GPA of 3.0, and the fee waiver is worked into the application. It is towards the end of the application. It is not a separate fee waiver application. Students get one opportunity to submit their information, so make sure that they are watching it carefully, because once that information is submitted, the application will let them know whether or not they qualify for a fee waiver. The same is true for the Cal State University system. They have their application. Again, we want to go through californiacolleges.edu. They have a minimum weighted GPA requirement of 2.0, and their fee waiver is also worked into their application towards the end. If you would like to learn more about these systems and many other systems, you can click on this link here to be taken to our resource rooms. We will reference these again at the end of this presentation. But again, just to cover it, important deadlines to remember is November 1st for the Common App if you're looking for an early decision, or January 1st if you're looking for regular decision. November 30th for the Cal State University and the University of California systems, and March 2nd. So we're going to be going over FAFSA with the students starting mid-October through their government and economics classes. We will also be going over FAFSA with you on iApplied Night, which is the first Wednesday of November, but we have until March 2nd. Ideally, all applications, including financial aid applications, are done and completed as of November 30th. So let's make that our goal out there, that we have all applications done and completed by November 30th. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to my partner in crime when it comes to all things senior, Ms. Thompson.
Thank you so much, Mr. Godinez, and thank you for all of the information you've shared so far. I'm sure it's a lot, so parents, I still remind you, please take notes and write down your questions, because we will definitely want to address all of them. So moving forward into the SAT, ACT. As you all may know, and you see on this slide, it is not required for admissions, okay? Now, I know there are tons of people out there who are like, well, if it's not required, then shouldn't I still take it? Or I know some kids are still taking it. If it's not required, why are we even offering it? And things like that. Here's the deal. The UCs and the Cal States have said they are not. It's not even a matter of it being test optional for them. They will not use it for your admissions decisions unless it has to do with a specific major. And that specific major tends to be engineering. And that's actually even not the regular SAT, but the subject exam. Private schools are majority test optional this year, and possibly even forever moving forward. Test optional means you can or cannot. It's up to you, depending on your major. Out-of-state schools, to each his own. So here's the recommendation. If you're planning on going to school here in the state of California and nowhere else, and it's a Cal State or a UC, you don't have to bother taking the SAT. If you don't know where you want to go and you could end up out of state, go ahead, take it. You have until December, no biggie. They're not supposed to use it to hold anything against you. So say you take it and you don't get a good score, you don't have to report it to the Cal State or the UC system. And you would only need to report it to other schools should they actually ask and want to actually get records of your scores. So I say that to say, I want everybody to feel comfortable with whatever the decision they make, okay? Now moving forward into letters of recommendation. Majority of students attending a private school will have to complete a letter of recommendation packet so that their counselor and teachers and other recommenders can complete the packets for them, or the letters of recommendation for them. What students need to do is just download the letter of recommendation packet. It is on the Centennial website. As you see, it's linked here in this presentation as well. We need 2 weeks to get it done. So it's important that they know what they're looking for and how soon their letters are going to be due, because it's really difficult with us servicing so many students. If we get an application or a letter request that's on a Thursday and it's due the next day, there's a good chance we may not be able to get it done in time. So just out of courtesy and also to make sure it gets done, please give us at least 2 weeks. In the packet, students are to be detailed and descriptive. And the reason for that is because we know them as students for the most part, but we want to know a little bit more about them. We want to know what other people think about them so that we can get a bigger, more well-rounded view of each student and put that in our letter. So that is why we ask for the packet. That's why we ask students to complete it. It may look a little daunting at first, but it's definitely worth it. We send those letters directly to the colleges and universities. Students do not get access to these letters as it messes with the integrity of the letter. So just like an official transcript, we send the letters directly to the schools so that they know that they are not tampered with. Next slide. Okay, so we have some some application workshops coming up. Every year we do these and we want to make sure that our students know they have access to get help when they need it. So please, please, please encourage your seniors to attend these workshops. They're all during the school day and they're all going to take place in the Career Center. Students have their own devices these days, so it's really simple. Just bring your device, come on in, and we'll get ready to work. The dates here are listed here. They're also on the counseling website, and I believe there's actually a link that students can sign up to, like, kind of RSVP for each of the workshops if they decide to. Now, if you're one of the few parents, I mean, we have a ton of athletes, but a small percentage of them actually go on to play college in sports. And this is the slide on NCAA eligibility. Students in this situation, by the time they're seniors, they already know they're there. Either they've talked to a coach or recruiter, or your counselor has already been notified that they need information about you. But just to give you an idea, for the most part, the college entrance requirements for NCAA eligibility are very similar to A through G. And each student has to go into the website, the NCAA Eligibility Center, and complete their profile, which includes a list of the classes that they've taken. Now, when students go into college for sports, they have to be eligible for the actual college, but they also have to be eligible through NCAA. So both of them kind of work together. Instead of going into too much depth here, what I say to you, any parents who feels like their student is in this situation, reach out to your student's counselor as soon as possible so that everybody can be on the same page and we can know what it is we need to do to support your student on their journey to the next level. Now, for a community college, after the pandemic, it seems as though many people decided, like, maybe we won't go to four-year college. Maybe we'll go to community college first and then transfer. And there are lots of different reasons why people may be choosing to do that. One are the options. Okay, so you can go to community college and earn an associate's degree, but there are also technical certificates and apprenticeships. So you can go there and pick up a trade, or you can go there and learn how to do something on a lower level in order to graduate through a system and become better or more expert in the area. The other thing is that there's tons of them. They're local, they're smaller, and they're affordable. And right now there's a Promise Grant, basically paying for tuition fees for students to attend community college. Through California or the CCGI website that Mr. Godinez had referred, we're going to go ahead and watch this quick video about community college application.
Congratulations on being ready to apply to college. To get here, you worked hard, researched your college options, and chose the schools that feel right for you. This video focuses on the online application for California community colleges, called CCC Apply. By launching your application through californiacolleges.edu, you and your counselor can track all your California community colleges applications in one place and verify which have been submitted. Once you are signed in to your californiacolleges.edu account, the fastest way to launch your application is to hover over College in the top menu bar and select California Community Colleges Application. In the box that appears, type the name of the college that you'd like to apply to, or use the drop-down to find it. Then click the Launch button to be taken to the CCC Apply site for the community college you are applying to. Either sign in to your existing CCC Apply account or create a new one. You can now continue on to fill out your application. If you need to stop, you can always use your CCC Apply account to pick up later where you left off. It's that simple. You and your counselor can now verify that your application has been submitted using the My College Plan tool.
All right, perfect. So we can go on to the next slide. The next option for your students is going to be a trade or career school. And basically what we explain to the students is this is the opportunity for them to go and get specialized training on something they want to do, be it automotive, graphic design, or cosmetology along those lines. The schooling for this is typically pretty short. And this is a great option for students who decide, you know, maybe college isn't for me right out of high school. Let me go learn a trade and then find my career. And then maybe I'll get some more education later. Maybe I'll just do really wonderful in the career that I choose. These are offered at community colleges as well, but you can also find local institutions that specialize, for example, like Paul Mitchell Cosmetology School, or you have electrician schools and things of that nature. So here is another quick little video to explore your options for trade school and career tech programs. What we're showing you here is that you can click on that link and go through. Mind you, this presentation will be made available to you, so you'll have access to these links just as we do. But you click in there and you can see all of the different trade and tech schools that we have in the local area. As you see on the left, you can go through the Inland Empire, LA County, Orange County, and San Diego. So please take advantage of the websites we're sharing, as we've gotten all the information kind of packed into one little one-stop shop. Okay, and next we have military. All the branches of the military are represented here and can be explored by clicking on the links. But what we really wanted everyone to know is that the ASVAB is being offered here on October 20th. To sign up, all you do is click that link. Whether or not you plan to go into the military, the ASVAB is actually a wonderful test to take just to see what you could be good at, what you might like. For those students who are unsure as to what they would like to do, this is a great assessment to take in order to get some ideas. The worst part about it, if you're not interested in the military, is that you might get some calls from recruiters, but if you just tell them no a few times, then they'll stop calling you. If you are interested in the military, know that all you need to do is graduate from high school. You should definitely take that test and then explore the different branches to see which one suits you. It's a wonderful opportunity for students, in addition to serving their country, but to see the world in ways that they may not be able to see otherwise. So definitely take a look at these things and sign up for the ASVAB if you want to take it. Now, money. I know many parents probably come to these meetings and they're like, but how do I pay for it? I need money. I need to figure out, I don't know how I'm going to pay for college for my kid. So what I'll tell you first off is that everyone should complete a FAFSA. The FAFSA is the free application for federal student aid. Every year we hear over and over again how, oh, I won't qualify, I won't qualify, I won't qualify. And that's true. Some of us may not qualify for the money off the top. However, in order to get anything at any point, you need to have a FAFSA. So there may be a student who doesn't qualify based on the FAFSA, but once they go to their college and talk to the student or the financial aid counselor, they find out there's a scholarship that's available and it doesn't matter about your income. The first thing they're going to ask you from the financial aid office, though, is do you have a FAFSA? And if you don't have a FAFSA, you won't qualify for those monies either, not because of your income, but because you just don't have an application on file. The filing deadline for FAFSA is March 2nd. And notice you see FAFSA and CADA, we call it, California Dream Act application, but both of them, either or, FAFSA or California Dream Act, they're both due March 2nd. They fill the same purpose, and that's to qualify you for federal aid. The applications open October 1st. So the sooner you submit, the better. Quickly, we'll watch an overview of the FAFSA so you can see exactly what it's going to take to complete your application.
If you're interested in financial aid for college or career school, you're going to need to fill out the free application for federal student aid, or FAFSA. It takes most people about 30 minutes to complete online, and the best part, it's 100% free, and it provides you with access to grants, loans, and work-study funds from the federal government. And many colleges and states use FAFSA information to provide their own college or state financial aid. Before you fill out the FAFSA, it's a good idea to create your FSA ID, a username and password that lets you electronically sign your FAFSA and gives you access to various websites related to federal student aid. And here's an important tip. If your parent is providing information on your FAFSA, he or she will need his or her own FSA ID. Visit studentaid.gov/FSA ID for more information. Your FAFSA can be completed online at fafsa.gov, and help is provided throughout the online application process. You will need to fill out the FAFSA each year you are in school because your financial situation may change. Plus, you may be able to automatically transfer your tax data from the IRS, making the application even quicker to fill out. Each state and college or career school sets its own deadline for the FAFSA, so it's best to get it done early. Since some of the funds are available on a first-come, first-served basis, you don't want to miss out. Now that you know about the FAFSA, you might be asking, well, how much money will I get? Your college or career school will do the math, and there's a simple formula that they use. First, the college takes your cost of attendance, which is the total amount it will cost you to go to that school. Your cost of attendance will vary from school to school. Then, the college subtracts your expected family contribution, or EFC. Your EFC is based on information provided in your FAFSA and will not change based on the school you attend. However, the EFC is not necessarily the amount of money you will have to pay. Basically, your cost of attendance minus your EFC equals your financial need. Your college uses your financial need and other information to determine how much financial aid you can receive. See? Pretty simple. If you have questions or need more information, please visit studentaid.gov.
All right, see, it's just that simple. Just to reiterate, the FSA ID is basically your signature. So that is why you need one for your students as well as yourself if you're the parent who is completing the FAFSA. If we go to the next slide, filling out the FAFSA also is, like I said, it's what qualifies you for money in general. So gift aid is scholarships or grants that don't have to be repaid. There's work, money earned by the student as payment for or a job on or off campus. So if you know about work study, that's what the work is. And then loans, of course, borrowed money that has to be paid back, and it usually does have interest. There's different kinds of loans, subsidized and unsubsidized, but the whole point of this particular slide is to let you know there is 3 different types of financial aid, and it's not all just need-based. So that is why the FAFSA or DREAM Act is so incredibly important. It has to be on file to get you qualified for any of these things. If we go to the next slide, there's some scholarships and free money basically listed here. Now, the Blue and Gold Scholarship is basically tuition and fees covered for UC students whose family income combined is $80,000 or less. Okay, this covers tuition and fees. A middle class scholarship is for families making up to $191,000, but it covers 10 to 40% of tuition and fees in the state schools. And then there's Cal Grant. Now, as you guys go through the financial aid process, you will find out or hear about Cal Grant A, Cal Grant B. What you need to know at this point is that the Cal Grant is connected to the GPA, which is also connected to your FAFSA. So the Cal Grant GPA is submitted by our district. The district submits for every senior in the district in the beginning of October. And so you'll see paperwork that says, have your counselor sign this form and send it in. You do not need to do that. Your student's GPA will be submitted as long as they are a student here in the district. Now, what you do need to do is make sure that when you complete the FAFSA, one, you do the FAFSA for the school year of 2022-2023. Okay, you don't want to do current year, and we have a lot of issues because of the way it looks. We don't think that far ahead at the time we're doing it, but 2022, 2023, and then you want to use your 2020 taxes. So taxes should already be completed, and whichever ones you have, that's what you should use for your FAFSA. You do not have to wait to file your taxes in order to complete the FAFSA. As we said about the FSA ID and the PIN, that's your electronic signature. The sooner you get it, the better. That's one less step you have to deal with while you're actually trying to complete the FAFSA. And then here is a link to a website. Help is right there and readily available on the FAFSA website. So you can always click help or click chat or something along those lines when you're in the website to get to the next thing. Lastly, when it comes to your Cal Grant in FAFSA, the only way you can get the Cal Grant is if it connects to your FAFSA. And that being said, when you complete the FAFSA for your senior, you want to make sure the name you use on their FAFSA is exactly the way we have it on our academic records here at Centennial. Okay, some students have hyphenated names because that's what's on their birth certificate, but they only go by one last name at home or something like that. We want to make sure that everything matches. That is how your FAFSA will get linked with your Cal Grant, and then everything can be activated and you can get access to the funds that you're eligible to receive. Now, the local scholarship packet. This is a packet that is available to Centennial seniors. Every scholarship in this packet does and will go to a senior here at Centennial. So that definitely narrows the application pool. It makes it a lot smaller and makes it a lot less likely that if a student completes a local scholarship application packet, that they will actually get it. It's available through this particular page in our website. You click on it, you fill it out. Ms. Villalobos in the Career Center is the one who oversees the packets and the local scholarships. The deadline is Friday, February. I was about to say September. Wow. Guess we know where I am. It's Friday, February 4th, 2022, okay? The reason why we push it out that far is one, we need to wait until your first semester grades are on your transcript. So that's part of the reason. And then we also like to wait to see what other scholarship opportunities accumulate over the first semester. So that way we make sure we give our students access to everything. All seniors should absolutely complete a local scholarship packet for Centennial. Now, on Wednesday, November 3rd, we're having a virtual I Applied night. And what this is an opportunity for parents to get online virtually and see and get help with the DREAM Act and the FAFSA application, okay? So we'll do an overview of four-year universities as well, but more than anything, we wanna see our parents who need help with the DREAM Act or FAFSA get online so they can get the help that they need. So please, if that's something you think you'll be interested in, show up. We definitely would like to see you there, and we'll have plenty of help to go around. There shouldn't be much waiting or anything like that. You should be able to get access to someone pretty much as soon as you get on. Now, by May 2022, we need to see proof of our seniors post-graduation plan. And the reason we do this, it's twofold. One is we've been here, we've been with your babies for 4 years. We want to close out and we want to see where they're going. We like to follow them. We like to know what they're doing, but it also helps inform our practice, and it helps us keep track of where we as a high school send our students on their next level. So if it's a military recruit and your baby is going into the military, and I'm calling them your babies because you only get them for a few more months, right? But if you're going into the military, we like to see the enlistment letter. If you're going straight to work, then give us a resume, because the least we can do is make sure you have a good working resume when you leave Centennial High School. If you're going to a trade or vocational school, then we want to see the letter. All we need to do is see a copy of it that says, congratulations, John Doe, you are now admitted to this particular school. For community college, it's just a copy of the completed application or any correspondence that verifies your status as a future student. And then for four-year college, we just need the admissions letter, just a copy, and that'll be one of your final checkout, okay? Now, on to some other resources that are available for you. The Corona Norco Unified School District has a parent center that's continuing to grow and is full of resources for parents. Everything from helping your child through education with their enrolling in schools to mental health resources to community resources. There's workshops and events held there. There's a Facebook and Instagram page, and the contact information for the Parent Center is right here as well. You can call them or you can just pop in. It is open every weekday, and I think some weekends depending on what's happening in the community. Staying connected. It's very important, especially in the age of social media, that you stay connected. So we have a Centennial High School Instagram, a counseling Instagram, and a Career Center Instagram. So please hop on, get connected with us. It's just an opportunity for you to get information.
In addition, just to wrap up, we wanted to make sure that you had access to all of this in one-stop shop. So we have our post-high school planning resource rooms ready to go for you. And the following slides are filled with resources and links for you. So we have one dedicated to our four-year university resources, one dedicated to our community college resources, one dedicated to our trade school resources and career technical education. And we also have one for the military and then one for financial aid. So with that, we want to thank you for joining our presentation. This brings us to the end of the recording. If you are on for the live Q&A at this time, we will begin to answer all of your questions. If you are watching this post the live Q&A session, then we thank you and we wish you all a wonderful school year.